You know, friends, I've been thinking a lot about life, and I've come to one important conclusion. Life doesn't care about our comfort zone. Seriously. It doesn't ask whether we're ready for change or not. It just throws us into a whirlpool of events and sees whether we'll emerge or not. Many of us live as if in a cocoon. We create a cozy little world for ourselves and think that it will always be like this. But it's an illusion, guys. A big, beautiful one, but still an illusion. I myself lived in this illusion for a long time. I went to work that didn't bring me joy, communicated with people who didn't share my values, and put off my dreams for later. Sound familiar, right? But here's the thing. Life doesn't wait for us to be ready. It doesn't give us time to warm up. It just moves forward, and either we go with it or we're left behind. Therefore, the first thing we need to understand, comfort is a trap. Yes, it is pleasant, it is enticing, but it does not allow us to grow. And without growth, there is no life. Without growth, we simply exist, but do not live. So it is time to get out of this cocoon, friends. It is time to look life in the eye and say, okay, I am ready. Let's see what you have prepared for me. Because only in this way can we truly taste life. Only in this way can we become who we are capable of becoming. And believe me, it is worth it. Now let's talk about action. You know what I noticed? Most people wait for something their whole lives, waiting for the right moment, the perfect conditions, a sign from above. And do you know what happens while they wait? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Let me tell you this. If you wait for the perfect moment, you will wait forever. Because the perfect moment does not exist. It is a myth, a fiction, a fairy tale for adults. Life is messy. It is unpredictable and often unfair. But you know who wins in this life? Not those who wait for the weather to change, but those who take action. Those who take the bull by the horns and say, okay, I don't know what's going to happen next, but I'm willing to find out. You have to move even when you're scared. You have to take action even when you don't have all the answers. Because guys, progress doesn't come with a manual. Sometimes you're going to take steps in the wrong direction. But you know what? It's better to take the wrong path and learn than to sit still and wonder, what if? I was in this waiting trap for a long time myself. I thought, once I finish school, I'll start my own business. Once I save up some money, I'll start traveling. Once I find the perfect partner, I'll start a family. And the years went by, and I kept waiting and waiting. And you know what I realized? That life is passing me by. That all these thens are just excuses. It's our fear of the unknown, disguised as prudence. So I'm telling you, stop waiting. Start taking action now, today. Do something that will bring you closer to your goal. Let it be a small step, but do it. Because this is the secret of success, in constant movement forward. Let it be in small steps. Let it be with mistakes, but forward. And believe me, as soon as you start moving, you will feel such a surge of energy that you will surprise yourself. So go ahead, friends, act. Because life is here and now, and it is waiting for you to do with it. Now let's talk about fear. You know what I'm going to tell you? Fear is normal. It is a part of our life. And if someone tells you that he is not afraid of anything, do not believe him. He is either a liar or a psycho. Fear will always be there. It is part of the deal called life. But here's the thing. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the ability to move forward despite fear. Do you think that the people you admire are not afraid of anything? You are wrong. They are just as afraid as you are. They just don't let fear stop them. I remember being afraid to start my first business. My knees were shaking when I signed the paperwork. I lay awake at night thinking about everything that could go wrong. But you know what? I did it anyway. And yes, it was hard. Yes, there were mistakes, but I don't regret a thing. Because every time we overcome our fear, we become stronger. We grow, we become better versions of ourselves. And here's what I'll tell you. The more you act despite your fear, the less power it has over you. It's like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. So don't wait for the fear to go away. It won't. But you can learn to live with it and move forward despite it. Take small steps. Do something every day that scares you. It doesn't matter if it's something small. The main thing is to take action. And remember, on the other side of fear are all the things you dream about. Your goals, your dreams, your best life, they are there, beyond that wall of fear. And the only way to get to them is to walk through that fear. So don't let fear dictate your life. Use it as fuel. Let it be your engine, not your brake. Because believe me, there is nothing more terrifying than realizing at the end of your life that you never tried, that you never took a chance, that you let fear rob you of the life you wanted, dreamed of. So go ahead, friends. Scared? Great. That means you're on the right track. Now let's talk about mistakes. You know what I've noticed? Many people are so afraid of making mistakes that they prefer not to do anything at all. They seem to freeze in place, paralyzed by the fear of failure. But I'll tell you this, mistakes are normal. In fact, mistakes are necessary because it is through mistakes that we learn and grow. Do you think I've always done everything right? Hell no. I've made enough mistakes to pave the road from here to the moon. But you know what? Each of those mistakes taught me something. I remember my first failed project. God, how upset I was then. I thought, that's it. The end. I'm a loser. But you know what I realized later? That this failure taught me more than all my previous successes put together. Because success is often accidental. But failure always contains a lesson. You just have to be ready to see and accept this lesson. So I'm telling you, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Seriously, forget about this fear. Because the only way to not make mistakes is to do nothing. And that, believe me, is the biggest mistake of all. Instead, accept the fact that mistakes will happen. They are inevitable, but they do not define you. What defines you is how you react to those mistakes. Fell? Great. Get up and move on. Made the wrong choice? Great. Learn from it and move on. Failed? Great. Analyze, learn, and try again. Because guys, in the end, it's not the result that matters. It's the process. It's who you become along the way. And you become stronger, wiser, and more experienced with every mistake, with every failure. And you know what? One day you'll look back and realize that all those mistakes, all those wrong steps actually got you exactly where you were supposed to be. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Be afraid of not trying. Because life is not a rehearsal. We have no draft. There is only this moment, here and now. And remember, it is better to regret what you did than to regret what you never dared to do. Now let's talk about courage. Do you know what the biggest misconception of most people is? They think that courageous people are not afraid. Bullshit. Courageous people are as afraid as everyone else, maybe even more, because they are more often faced with situations that cause fear. But do you know what their secret is? They do not let fear stop them. Let me tell you this. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting in spite of fear. It is the ability to say, yes, I am afraid. So what? I will do it anyway. Do you think I was not afraid when I started my first business or when I spoke in front of 1,000 people for the first time? I was so afraid. My knees were shaking and my throat was dry, but I did it anyway. And you know what? It got easier each time. No, the fear hasn't gone away completely. It's still there. But now I know that I can act despite it. Here's what I want you to understand. Fear is normal. It's part of life. It's a mechanism that helped our ancestors survive. But we don't live in caves surrounded by predators. Our fears today are most often fears of failure, rejection, the unknown. And you know what? These fears can't kill you. But they can rob you of the life you dream of if you let them. So I urge you, be courageous, not in the sense of not being afraid of anything, but in the sense of acting despite the fear. Afraid to start your own business? Start. Afraid to confess your love? Confess. Afraid to change careers? Change. Because believe me, there's nothing worse than realizing at the end of your life that you never tried, that you never took a chance, that you let fear rob you of the life you dreamed of. Courage is a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. With every bold action, with every overcoming of fear, you become stronger. You grow. You become the version of yourself that you can be proud of. And you know what else is important to understand? Courage is contagious. When you act boldly, you inspire others. You show them that it is possible, that you can live not by the dictates of fear, but by the call of your heart. So I urge you, be courageous not only for yourself, but also for those who look up to you, for your children, your friends, your colleagues. Show them that it is possible to live differently, that it is possible to overcome fears and achieve your goals. And remember, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the decision that there are things more important than fear. Your dreams, your goals, your best life, they are more important than any fear. So go ahead, friends, be courageous, act in spite of fear, and watch how your life changes. Now let's talk about discomfort. You know what the problem with most people is? They want comfort. Always and everywhere. They want everything to be easy and pleasant. But you know what? It doesn't happen that way. At least not when you are truly growing and developing. Because growth is always discomfort. It is always leaving the comfort zone. It is always stress for the body and psyche. But it is in this discomfort that real transformation occurs. Remember how you learned to walk? Was it comfortable? Hell no. You fell, bumped your head, cried. But you kept trying. And do you know why? Because you instinctively understood this is necessary for growth. The same is true in adulthood. Want to grow professionally? Prepare for discomfort? Want to improve relationships? Be prepared for uncomfortable conversations? Want to achieve financial independence? Prepare to tighten your belt and work hard? Discomfort is not an enemy. It is your ally in growth and development. It is a signal that you are on the right path, that you are growing and not standing still. So I urge you, do not avoid discomfort. Accept it. Make friends with it. Understand that every moment of discomfort is an opportunity for growth. When you are uncomfortable, ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? How can I use this experience to grow? And you know what? The more you practice this acceptance of discomfort, the easier it becomes for you to cope with difficulties. You become more flexible, more adaptable. You become someone who can cope with any situation. Now think, isn't this what you want from life? To be strong, flexible, able to cope with any challenge? Well, the way to this lies through accepting discomfort, through understanding that every difficulty is an opportunity. Every challenge is a chance to become better. So stop looking for easy ways. Stop avoiding difficulties. Instead, accept them as part of the path, as a necessary condition for growth and development. And remember, comfort is a trap. It feels good, but it does not allow you to grow. And without growth, there is no life. Without growth, you simply exist and do not live. So the choice is yours. Do you want to exist comfortably or live uncomfortably? Do you want to stay in your comfort zone or step outside of it and see what you are truly capable of? I chose the latter. And you know what? I have never regretted it. Yes, it was hard. Yes, it was uncomfortable. But that is what made me who I am today. And I encourage you to do the same. Embrace discomfort. Befriend it. Use it as a springboard for growth. And watch your life change. Because believe me, there's nothing more comfortable than knowing that you can handle any discomfort, that you can grow and develop no matter what. So go ahead, friends, towards discomfort, towards growth, towards the best version of yourself. And remember, life begins where your comfort zone ends. So don't be afraid to take that step. Don't be afraid to step outside of the familiar, because it is there, beyond those limits, that all those things you dream of are waiting for you. Act now. Don't wait, because life doesn't wait. It just moves forward. And either you move with it or you get left behind. The choice is yours. And I believe you will make the right one, because you are capable of more than you think. You are stronger than you think. And you are ready for this journey right now. So go ahead, friends, towards your best life, towards your best self, because if not now, then when? If not you, then who? Act, move, grow, and remember, the best is yet to come.